Hi everyone, Aiden here at the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the CE Smith Post-Style Boat Trailer Guide-Ons. These are going to give a great way to just clamp onto our boat trailer and give us a very large upright, one for either side of the trailer, to help us guide our boat onto the trailer by sticking up out of the water and giving us more visibility. Let's check them out. Starting at the bottom and seeing how it attaches to the trailer, this is going to be a no-drill installation. It utilizes a bracket with some U-bolts to clamp onto the frame of your boat trailer. This can be adjusted up to 19 inches out from the side of your trailer. So if you've got a really wide boat, then you can adjust that to fit. You can see ours is pretty far inset right now, but it's very easy to adjust by just loosening those U-bolts, sliding this in or out, and then retightening them for a really solid and secure fit. And on the upright side here, we've got the PVC pipe. That's going to be 2 3/8 of an inch in diameter and stick up 65 inches. So even if your trailer is submerged, these are going to help stick up out of the water, giving you that visibility you need to help guide onto the trailer and make sure we're centered. These just slide down over the top of the steel posts. So if you want to remove them during the winter to help elongate the life, you can. And the other nice thing about them just kind of being freestanding on here is that if you were to bump into it with your boat, it's just going to roll with it. It's not going to scuff up your boat, and it's going to keep it protected. At the very top of these PVC pipes, I'll get this removed and bring it up to the camera a bit here, we've got reflective tape. So if you are loading or unloading your boat at night and you need that extra visibility, you've got the reflective tape up top to help keep it a little extra visible. Now underneath all the metal pieces on the upright here are going to be an 11 gauge galvanized steel. So that's going to hold up really well to a wide variety of weather conditions and water over time, so you shouldn't experience any rust or corroding. Now CE Smith does have a version of this that they used to make. This is actually an updated design, and this is the old one that we replaced on this trailer. The main design change here is that the posts underneath are going to be in 2 pieces on the new one, and it's a single piece on the old one, held in place by this riveted brace. And this one has held up fairly well over time, but it's just not as sturdy, and the weak point I think is right here in this bend. The new design takes those 2 separate pieces and uses corner brackets to bolt them in place, and overall it's a lot more solid. So in my opinion, I think the new design is going to be a big upgrade. Even if you have the old one, I think it's a worthwhile consideration. And all you have to worry about now is how it installs. Like we mentioned before, it's a no-drill installation, so it makes it very straightforward and simple. Let's check out how we did it now. Starting off the installation, you're going to have a couple pieces for each side of the boat trailer. There's going to be 2 of these corner brackets for each side. So we've got 2 for our driver's side. And then we've got a shorter post and a longer post, each of those with 2 holes in the bottom. Now what we're going to do is actually get these lined up with the corner brackets first. So the shorter piece that has the end cap on it, that will be the bottom corner. So get those corner brackets lined up with the holes, and we'll do that for each of those brackets. The hardware we get is going to be a series of bolts passing through the brackets and all of the aligned holes, with the bolt head being held captive on this side of the bracket with the hexagon slot. Once those are passed through, we can secure them on the other side using one of the provided lock nuts. We'll thread that on loosely for now and repeat that process for the other 2 holes and the other 2 holes over here for the longer piece of tube steel. Now I will say that as you're doing this, some of these bolts pass through a lot easier than others. I think that's just due to the machining process. Some of these holes aren't perfect and the metal isn't super clean, but they all went through relatively easily. If you have something like a mallet that you can just tap on the end of the bolt with to help pass it through, that works just fine for us. And then with the lock nuts, you can get those all attached and run them down with a 14mm socket. Turning our attention now to the boat trailer, we want to get the U-bolts and the brackets set up for the uprights that we just assembled. Now the bracket's going to sit on top like this, and we're going to have 2 different types of U-bolts. We want to use these together. Depending on your trailer setup, if it's a bit of a wider frame, you'll set them up just running parallel to each other like this. But for a more narrow frame, you could take the one with the divot, put it underneath, and cross them in this X shape here. For our application, this is going to be what we end up going with. But get those lined up with your brackets and loosely secure it now with a flat washer, a lock washer, and a regular nut run down over the top all the way down the threads of these U-bolts to hold them in place. Don't fully tighten it down yet. We want to slide in the assembled upright and then get it tightened down once we have the proper positioning. With the U-bolts loosely assembled and our bracket ready to go, you can take your assembled upright with the bottom piece being the shorter end, slide that through the bracket, and get it positioned with your boat, sliding it either a little bit more in or out and side to side depending on where we want it. And remember to leave room for the PVC pipe up top. Once we've got it into position, I'm going to just tighten these down by hand a little bit more to hold it in place better. And I'll come back through with a wrench or socket and get these fully tightened down. Now, as I'm tightening this down, I'm gonna make an effort to just hold this upright in a straight up and down position, just because it does have a little bit of wiggle to it. I wanna get it tightened down in the proper way. And I'm gonna be going in a back and forth pattern with these to try to tighten all the U-bolts evenly, so we're not clamping one side down completely and getting it kind of off center. That way it's applying even pressure all throughout. And with all of that tightened down, we can take the PVC, slide it over the top of that bar, and that's all there is to it. It's a very straightforward process for the installation. There is a little bit of pre-assembly you have to do right out of the box, but it's not too bad. It can all be done with a single socket or a wrench, and then it's all good to go. It's a very sturdy fit, and I think it's gonna work really well to help guide your boat onto the trailer. But that'll do it for our look at the CE Smith boat guide-ons. Thanks for watching.